Piper asks, what is a polar bear dip and would you dare do one? Originally, the polar bear dip was a practice of the ancient Aztecs. They would sneak up on a polar bear with a banana. And they would dip the banana up the nose of the polar bear. The deeper it went, the more points you'd get. Almost impossible, especially if you examine the details. There is a modern version of this, however, and it's a little bit safer, and it's much more doable-ish. All you need is a penguin or a baby seal, and some butter. And you take the penguin or the seal, and you dip them in the butter. And then the penguin or baby seal just stays with you, just in case your expedition happens to run into a hungry ancient Aztec polar bear. And I'm pretty sure you can figure out how that situation ends. That kind of makes this more of a survival with Steve tip rather than an Ask Steve answer. In which case, I guess hungry Aztec polar bears won't be feasting on my little toesies tonight. Survival. Batman J wants to know, what's the difference between 3 p.m. flat and 3 p.m. sharp? I know most people think this is a musical thing, but it's not. To answer this, once again we have to go back to the ancient Aztecs. No polar bears this time, or seals, or penguins, or butter. It actually had to do with the sundial. More specifically, a piece of the sundial. More specifically, the piece of the sundial called the... hold on. Gnomon? Gnomon? It has a weird name. It's the triangle piece on the top of the sundial. And back in the day of the ancient Aztecs, they used to make their sundials out of Swiss dark chocolate, as every history buff knows. But in the ancient Aztec culture, sometimes your pesky neighbor might try to pull a fast one on you, pull a prank. And they would do this by setting your sundial ahead or back an hour or two, just to mess with you. But because the Gnomon, the triangle piece, was made out of dark chocolate, the tip of the Gnomon thing would melt a little bit. And rather than the triangle point being nice and pointy, it could get kind of flat and rounded. That's the difference. And last of all, EvilStatZ asks, why is Racecar spelled the same forward and backward? Well, this has to do with back in the day, in the Garden of Eden, when Jacob had to name all the animals and everything else. You see, while he was naming stuff, Zacchaeus spotted a business opportunity. He would write down the names of everything, and then he charged Jacob for every separate letter that Jacob used, per name. So Jacob decided to economize by reusing as many letters per name as he could, which is pretty clever if you ask me, if not completely biblically inaccurate. So that's why Jacob decided Racecar should be spelled the same forward and backward. It's also the reason why the word anti-disestablishmentarianism has like 5 eyes in it. Wow, something with 5 eyes should be able to see pretty good. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today. Thank you for asking, thank you for watching. Remember that you are valuable and you are loved. Have an awesome day. Catch you later. Bye. Yes, actually, I did go to Sunday school, and I know it wasn't Jacob who named the animals in the Garden of Eden. It was Joseph. Duh.